part of our Career Talks, a series of videos that are dedicated to our favorite topic, which is career development. We will be talking with a couple of amazing progressors that are willing to share with us a little bit more about their career journeys and maybe a pinch of advice for other people that are looking for one. So today I would like to welcome here Cait Mary, and I would like to present it to you. Cait, thank you so much for taking this time to participate in our career talks. Would you like to start with a couple of words about yourself and share what is your current role at Progress right now?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Cait Mary, and I am the manager of internal communications and employer brand here at Progress.
Great. So, when you started working here at Progress, was that your initial role?
No, actually, I joined Progress about 10 months ago as a social media manager. So I was managing the corporate social media channels, and I moved into my current role just 6 months after joining the company.
Wow, that must have been exciting. So, how did you decide to take this career path and this specific role that you're currently in?
So I love social media, but I am definitely a writer at heart. I have a background in technical writing and in content marketing, and I love the idea of taking a concept and coming up with the best way to communicate it for a variety of audiences. So I really like if you take an email, for example, coming up with the right tone and the right vocabulary for the right people and figuring out what they need from the message. So in social media, I was doing a lot of the same, coming up with different captions for social posts and pairing them with the right visuals for the right platform. But moving into internal comms, I've been able to write a lot more long form content, which I definitely prefer. And I also, I really like the personal connection that you have with your audience when you're in internal communications, because when you're writing an email or you're writing a Teams post or a Yammer post or what have you, you're speaking to your peers and you know your audience and you really care about them because you work with them every single day. So being able to share really good news with my colleagues makes me really happy, and to be able to give them a really good experience with the communications that are coming from the organization to the people. It's an honor, honestly, and I really love it. I really do.
Yeah, so I hear you that you actually found what you like doing and combined it successfully what you are doing in your work. And I totally understand that sometimes it is very important what kind of message you are going to send out there, because it's really important how people are going to accept it and just think about it. And right now, talking about your career journey, I'm really interested to understand if you can share if there's someone or something that inspired you or supported you throughout your journey.
Yes, absolutely. So I almost didn't even apply for this position. And I didn't realize it at the time, but after speaking with Erica McShane, who heads up the corporate communications department here at Progress, I realized that I was really suffering from imposter syndrome. I kept thinking, you don't have internal comms experience. You've never been a people manager. You don't know the tools or the program history, and you've only been with the company for 6 months. What are you thinking? Um, and so I almost talked myself out of applying for a role that I'm really happy in, which is like tragic. And I'm so glad that I didn't. And what I ended up doing, which was really helpful for me, was just talking to people who were around me, who were on my team. I spoke to some of the people who had been here for a really long time and who had seen what the program was really about, and who had some insight into the skills that I would really need to be successful. And then I just had a really open, honest conversation with Erica and then with my direct manager, Dave Piontek. And I told them, here are the areas where I feel really confident, and here are the areas where I feel like I'm going to need some support in order to be successful. And I was just really blown away by how supportive they were and how enthusiastic. I didn't feel like, they were coming at this like, yes, we'll support you because we're your managers and that's what we need to do as part of our job. They were genuinely excited to help me move forward in my career. They went above and beyond, suggesting ways that they could be really helpful in educating me, and they've supported me the entire time that I've been in this role. And I'm really confident that they're going to do that forever. And so now I in turn get to do that for the team that I manage. So I'm really grateful to both of my managers who've supported me in the journey. And it's been really, really, really smooth thanks to them.
I'm very happy to hear that, because in a lot of cases, when we are on in our career journey, there might be some barriers that we encounter. For example, like yourself, the imposter syndrome that you shared about, and this is where the role of other people actually comes, because when you are sharing your struggles or your challenges with other people, they could be your mentors or managers, you get another perspective and another point of view, which in very cases is very important for your self-development. And like you said, you already have a new skill that you are going to transfer in your role and maybe apply with your own people in your team. So that's very, very nice. And we're talking about challenges, but what about accomplishments? Would you like to share some of your big successes so far that you're very proud of?
Yeah. Um, so I have, as I mentioned before, I have sort of an interesting background. I was a technical writer for many years. I have experience in content marketing. I actually taught fourth grade for a year as well. I veered into education for a while, and then kind of came back toward the marketing side and the communication side. And I think my biggest accomplishment throughout that whole journey, that career, was just sort of taking the time to educate myself about what career options were available to me. When I was in high school, college, I feel like I knew about the jobs that I kind of came into contact with on a day-to-day basis, right? I knew what my parents did, and I knew doctors and dentists and hairdressers and the people that I came into contact with on a day-to-day basis, but I had no idea about communications or internal comms or employer brand or social media. That just wasn't like within my realm. And so I had to learn that those roles even existed. And so I'm pretty passionate about that, and about constantly learning and finding new skills and new opportunities. So I think that's probably my biggest accomplishment. My biggest challenge is definitely um, embracing healthy conflict, because I'm so uncomfortable with it. And I think we all kind of are. And I like that I'm a peacekeeper. I think that's an important part of who I am. But at the same time, I need to take a step back and sometimes think about, this could be healthy conflict. This doesn't need to be something that you need to smooth over. This could be something that you could, encourage healthy behaviors and people can grow from it. So I have to remind myself not to stifle the conversation because I'm uncomfortable with it, and to just embrace healthy debate, because it is important, to grow and to find, compromise.
Definitely, I hear you, because this is one of my challenges when it comes to work again. But I think that overall people have some people have a wrong perception of what conflict actually is, because if we accept conflict as you said, a healthy debate or just a conversation with someone, we may understand actually different things about a specific situation, which could broaden our perspective and understand what is actually the other person point of view, which is again educating. And what I'm hearing you saying is that maybe the formula to the success is to broaden actually your perspective and to be curious and look for new opportunities. So thinking about other opportunities or thinking about different ways to educate yourself, is there something else, for example, that gives you energy at work or motivates you to grow even more?
Yeah, I that's a great question. I mean, I definitely think I'm in a very unique position to be able to share good news with people every single day, and the people that I work with that I'm surrounded by. So it's really nice that I get to spend my time thinking of ways to put a smile on people's face,
Yeah.
which is like what greater gift is there than that, really?
Definitely.
You know, in recent weeks, we've had all of these beautiful Diwali celebrations globally. Over in India, there were several. We've had one in our North Carolina office in the US. We'll have another one in Burlington. And to be able to see those videos and those photographs and to share that excitement with people has been really amazing. And I get to do that so much here at Progress. It's an amazing culture, and I feel very fortunate to be able to have this role in this particular company. I'm very fortunate. I think I
Yeah,
count my blessings.
I can actually imagine that this could feel very, very rewarding, because not only that you are spreading the news, but you get to know a little bit more about other cultures and you share with people around the globe how they celebrate. And this is actually one of Progress values, which is very important that we have the opportunity to share every day at our company. And actually, one of the reasons why we have decided to initiate those career talks is to have this open space where people can share a little bit more about their career journeys and what challenges or accomplishments they have, and maybe just give a piece of advice to other people that are watching or might be struggling or just looking for a piece of advice. And now that I'm mentioning that, is there something that you would like to share with our audience today, the people who are watching us, or something that you learned and you think is very important to share, or something that you wished you knew earlier in your career?
Yeah, I think my greatest piece of advice probably would be, what we were talking about earlier about staying curious, about what there is out there. Just because you're on a path right now doesn't mean that that's your forever path. You can veer off the path completely. You can, take a little turn off the path and then come back to it. There's so many opportunities out there, and so many people who can support you to get where you want to go, and just try something new, and if you don't like it, go back to it. Suppose that comes from somebody who taught fourth grade for 1 year, then came back and is now in internal comms. It's not the end of the world. If you try something, you decide it's not for you, and you look for a different fit. So I would say, just maintain your curiosity and go out and learn.
That's a great advice, because I think that actually each of your experience matters, because it teaches you something new and it points you to another direction or something else that you might be looking for to achieve. So thank you, Cait, so much for your time and for talking with me about your career and sharing your perspectives and advices. It was very, very useful, at least to me. And I hope to the people who joined our career talks. Thank you and see you next time.